See if we can go live on Instagram too. I don't know why it always says continue without Instagram. I don't know, but it works usually. It usually tells me that Instagram live key thing didn't work, and then it still like produces it up. But I guess not in this case. So we might not be going live on Instagram. Let me double check that. But no worries, if we're on live on YouTube, that's awesome. Welcome in and give it a couple seconds for everyone to get in here. We're finishing up our video of Roland, our shelter playing puppy, the one who was a little hesitant of males, humans that look like males, men. Little insecure, whoa, what's that? A little silly when it comes to seeing someone of the male variety. Okay, I guess we're not going to go on Instagram then, unless I do it on my phone. Maybe I'll go live on my phone just to have us go live. It might be at a different angle though, but that's fine. Oh, but you won't be able to see. Oh, you won't be able to see it though. All right, whatever. I won't go on. This is just for YouTube. All right, part 2 for YouTube. Let's get it. Let's have some fun. We left off. Let's kind of get back into the movie and see where we kind of left off. I can jump us ahead. I believe we were getting a play session in, worked on our first out or two when we were out on our play walk. Play walk is amazing because, one, I wish we had a longer line there for her to have a little bit more freedom and exploration when we are just walking, but allows us to work on her walking skills as well as bridging the gap of who I am and why she should listen to me and have fun with me, or whenever she's out with me, and I can actually start helping her change how she feels towards me. Obviously, that's going to be the easy part, but then help her start understanding other men, other strangers, and how they can be extremely awesome as well. Not just this one-off amazing dog trainer who's happened to be a dude comes in and helps you out. Nah, let's keep going. We're in the play session. She is a little fearful, a little insecure, so you did see a lot of celebration laps and her winning the rounds in tugging. So when we're fighting and competing for tug, it is a game of possession. Who wants it a little bit more? Who has that desire? Bam. The goal is to win that toy, earn possession of it. She does that, she builds up her confidence, especially if she's playing against me. She builds up her confidence. Super amazing. We get a great victory lap in going, running and running, get her blood flow, energy high up there, dopamine, everything spiking. Woo! Ow! Feeling amazing. That's what we're getting her to do with the victory laps and the celebration and winning the tug rounds. With all that confidence, you start to see her wanting to bring the toy back into me. And it's like, hey, you still want to continue playing? It's like, of course I want to continue playing. Playing's everything. It's purpose. It gives these dogs purpose. From here, we did work on a couple outs. And showing her the difference of when she does have the possession of the toy, when our intent is going for the toy versus when our intent is just to love up on her. Utilizing that good cue versus an out cue. Out cue, I'm going to grab the toy, pause in the game, or just my presentation, I'm going to stalk you and try and grab it. Or I just say, good, keep holding on to it. I just want to love and give you some affection. And who cares if you have a toy or possession or possessing this toy? We're just loving up and relaxing with each other. Great, here's the split. This is what we wanted to get into today. We're going after where, okay, this is a great part. I don't want you guys to miss this section. remember how I said when I took her out of the crate, or the kennel, and closed the kennel, she then went to her next door neighbors and started busting them up, little fence fighting. So we're going to talk about that in the next area. I'm going to just add the volume to it.
Free. Good. We're going to get back into inside. All right, just brought Roland in from our walk area. We were just doing our little play walk and fun stuff. She did, when I got her out of the crate, just turn around, go at the kennel right next to her, and those dogs in there. So I'm gonna be able to utilize having this dog in here and potentially coming over to say hi and utilizing that as a fun steal your dog game. See if we can get her just playing with us instead of going crazy fence fighting. So I don't know where the best place to put you guys because it's a little dark, but maybe just in here. Gonna lose.
So as you heard, she does have fence fighting. We are this is in the shelter, the meet and greet area that they love to normally use. It has a nice little tiki hut that is half of the shade, and then a little run for them that's turf for pee, potty, playing, etc. But big note, as you heard in there, on the other side, right now where we are looking, that is the entrance. That's where you'll see a lot of dogs walking past. A lot of humans that are interested in adopting dogs will be walking past. Shelter volunteers, workers, they'll be walking past this front fence right here. So that's a good opportunity to have, we call it the steal your dog game. It's just bringing their focus back to you. Usually you're in the middle of tugging with them and they hear a noise. Maybe someone is walking a dog past the fence and she's like, what's that? I want to go over there, starting to be interested, maybe not in the best intent wise, interested as well. So before she even goes over there, she might drop that tug toy. I'm going to steal that and celebrate and tease her and just go crazy. Just go crazy with her, right? Try and get her enticed back into that game, having fun. And then realizing, oh, I'm just supposed to be staying when we are playing the game. We got to stay in the game. Who cares what's going by? That also will help her in her big emotions. I wish I had it on film when she did do her kennel fighting, fence fighting, but I didn't. So it could even help with those big emotions as well. You see it, and then you get right back into playing, and that helps you start with your emotional change to this negative stimuli, which is usually like a dog. So we'll see if we get the opportunity to do that. And then that's the front side, and then on the back side, there's a big play area for usually just one dog and a person to be back there and playing. But there's just one dog back there, and the dogs can come up and sniff through the fence, and you can use that same opportunity as an option to steal your dog. See if she wants to continue playing and stay in that game harder, right? We want a distraction or a competing reinforcer or even a negative stimuli to have you reinforced to be stronger in the game, objectively playing. Not just big emotions go crazy. We're still shredding something though, but we're actually effectively playing the game. Maybe a big emotion comes, I ask for an out, you have to do it right away, or my help comes, you spit it out, yes, right back into playing more objectively on with some boundaries and limitations or penalties added can be very beneficial. Now we're just going to go into really part 2 of our play session, seeing what we can get out of her. I cue her into that ready window, the play window, utilizing that ready cue where I amped up my energy, get real pumped. And then on that yes cue, that's when we can start interacting and start nipping and utilizing that mouth like you really want to. So on yes, you have that little bit of a learning moment as well. Only go on yes, not on ready. And you'll see that kind of utilized down the road. Which it could be brought in a little bit too soon, too early for her, but it was still a very great session for her in those moments as well. Right now we are just building up her confidence, and slightly getting into the chasing. You can see that she really likes that as well. We get into some chasing, we get back into that fight stage. This is all amazing for her. especially one who has such energy and was so insecure and closed in, and now through just living, though she is the longest resident here, so she has quite the learned history. She kind of opened up, but insecurely. So now she is going forward with this malicious. It looks like malicious intent, right? With that fence fighting. So we definitely want to build up her confidence so she's not insecure, and then be able to have her on Choice Island, really own her decisions, and as well start learning, oh, my behavior and what I decide to utilize in each moment is actually very important. See, just getting into some tugging, having some fun playing. With this enclosed area now, we don't have to be so on her with the celebration laps. It's more of a cooperative celebration lap, but you can see that she does get a little distracted with the ins and outs of the shelter life, but still sticking in it, which is amazing. And then sometimes you can even capture it. A yes or an out. I mean, this should have been get her attention and then yes her right away. But we went into that rule set, right? Where it's like, ready, and then she came into to actually bite. Oh, nope. We can even cue her into that. Nope, wrong try again. she gets the stiff arm or the knee. Anything, it could even be a step on the leash right before she jumps after the toy. Anything to, one, not reinforce her getting the toy, and then reinforce that no or that cue, that negative punishment cue. Hey, we're taking away something. Not yet, girl. On that yes cue, yeah, jump into it, have fun. Big explosion. But what I was going into, that could have been a little bit too early, too soon with her, because we're still just building up the understanding of the whole game and just keeping up that desire to be really, really fun. And being distracted like that, we should have really just utilized that yes, and then have her running back into a big catch, and then back into that fighting stage. Or maybe she misses it, and then we go into the chasing part of tug. And which you saw earlier is super fun and fulfilling for her too. And then I can turn up the audio, but I think it sounds like crap. Nice. And then you see on this out, well, I put it back too far, but we'll get back to that spot. On that out, she is still in the acquisition phase. So we say out, you see the leash out once there. She has it completely dropped. When it's completely paused, big yes cue to say, hey, release from that work position or that out, that pause window of our play session. Yes, right back into playing. Nice, look at this. Into that fun interaction between us two. Really building up her understanding of the windows, some impulse control, some cue discrimination as well. Really great stuff for her to be learning all in one session. And you can have a girl really learn the good, no, yes, out, kind of all in one session, depending on how long you can get it, as well as how high her motivation stays throughout that whole process or period of playing. If it stays super high up, then maybe you get very far in. Maybe you get your out to past the first phase of acquisition, and you get into fluency, and it's looking actually pretty fast, and she still understands the whole window is a pause. Great. Maybe you get to generalization, and she's in different areas like we are now. We did it outside on the walk, now outside in here, starting to generalize that process, right? Then we get discrimination. She's outing on out, not on pout. And then from there, we go into the other behaviors or other markers that we want to get into to have the same learning stages to where we know she knows it, right? And then from there, you can kind of see, yeah, right here, there's a person walking by with a dog. Yeah, and then instead of having her just completely fixate on them and then amp her energy up to that fence fighting, we're going to try to entice her back into that playing, which you did see we were able to get her playing a little bit, and then she kind of went right back to it, which isn't that bad. Actually starting to have that pull back to us is very huge. you can see with some dogs that you won't even get this in the first session. Let's see what we're saying right here, kind of at the end. I was talking, so I missed that.
We got pretty far with her out. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, so with her out, we did get really far actually. We had the association made, so she heard the cue, she could beat our help, and then we got the behavior. So on out, we were actually getting that behavior, but when we're starting to generalize it, like we were doing in this picture, we were kind of jumping back into that acquisition phase where we're trying to get 5 out of 5 successful runs.
We got pretty far with you. Definitely something we can do sessions and build up on. And something that the shelter should be working on is utilizing her play to give her that situation, as well as build up her confidence so she's not insecure with all this going on. This big drop. Whoa! Nice one, girl. Yeah, we're free though. Well, we're done.
Awesome. Oh man, this is already perfect. So that is part 2 of utilizing play to have actual love for your dog. You're able to observe who your dog really is genetically, predispositionally as well as where they're at in their opening up staged, I guess you can call it. Are they going after the toy even? Like Roland, great. She was actually on yesing and on the movement, would go after that toy and want to bite it and play fight a little bit. Some dogs might be even too insecure to get to that stage to where you throw the toy out and that might just scare them and they're running away. So you might have to build up confidence and open up to the game a little bit more slowly. But it's very, very crucial to be able to get that, especially with play, because we can have her or a dog who wouldn't want to open up to play, but still feel this insecurity, this type of way, and we really want them to be expressive, but owning their decisions. Right? That's how we have a dog who's very social, but contextually appropriate with how they give and go with different situations, which is what everyone wants. But they don't do the first part, which is ensuring the safety, satiation of drive, and building up the right relationship, and giving the love properly. You'll see there's not a ton of just, I'm taking her out. Yeah, I know she needs to get out on a walk. I know she needs to play, but it's not just about running off energy or steam. We have to satiate that drive. So you see, we're trying to observe. Our first thing is be very, very, very observant. If we're not being observant, we are most likely, or if we're not being observant and present, we are 100% missing some very crucial moments with our dogs. You might miss a stalking moment where we're like, oh, they really love this. They really love this. Let's utilize it even more to build up that love and desire for the holistic game. Even if we have to use this one portion of it a little bit more. Or she really loved the celebration. Some dogs love to really fight and dig after you. Some dogs, this is great. Some dogs love tugging against you. Some dogs love pushing into you. There's different ways to play that possession game as well. And you have smart dogs who learn to give and go, and because it is a game trying to outsmart, not always outmaneuver, outclass, but you're trying to win the toy from the other person. You're trying to gain possession. And then you get to tease them a little bit. And you'll see dogs who are confident with winning. They're coming back and they're like, yeah, try and take my glasses from me. And they're teasing you, and you see the little booty shake going on or a tail wag. And they're like, yeah, try and take it from me. And then they do one of these when you come close. And then that's what you have to allow the expression for. It's like, oh, you got to allow that expression of like us getting teased. But we're not going to be like running and chasing them around like a dog normally would. We're definitely not going to be playing tag or that type of game, keep away, when it comes to tug, because then that's a completely different game. definitely can utilize something to start something to open them up, but then we want to continuously progress to they're learning the holistic game, rules, and boundaries, not just stuck at one page, right? You could just have a dog who loves celebration, and after the tugging, they celebrate the victory lap, and then maybe they jump into your chest and they get some love for a little bit, and then they back up and they're like, all right, let's tug again and fight again. So you got to really be able to be patient and observant and understand, knowledge-wise, you got to have the knowledge to know there's 4 stages to tug. There's the ins and outs to what we're doing. We have to have the foresight initially to understand that. And then we have to be observant of how our dog is responding and reciprocating with us, and how we're giving and going with each other. That's where we really start off our first love. Now going into the shelter with Roland, definitely would suggest on her walk or on her session to be able to play tug and fetch. Didn't really get into fetching yet, but I definitely want tugging so we can have her winning against someone, building up her confidence, victory lapping, building up her confidence, and relieving any stress from learning with a new person, the game, or how they're playing the game. Because each person, each dog's interaction, it's like, yeah, we can still be playing soccer, but how I play against you might be different versus how I play against him. So there could be some slight nuances in there as well. But that's very important for them. And then she's going to start listening to them as well, building up a higher level of communication through that play level. Her markers, the good, yes, nope, no, I guess, or bad even. They can really start practicing and teaching her all these based on her decisions. You can win more or you can win less, depending on how you're acting and behaving during this picture situation. We definitely want to be able to take her on those walks, utilize some play. I would definitely want to see some, at least by our next, I would love to see on our next session, whether we're playing on a play walk or in the meet and greet areas. Her out cue is on the final legs of the acquisition phase, going into fluency. We're already getting that generalization as well. And then seeing if we can really work on that strengthening of the game when she sees another dog at the fence line or someone walking another dog, or if there's another dog already barking and fence fighting, we want to be able to see her make the right decisions, or at least check in to start being into cued from us. Hey, what should I be doing in this exact moment? She looks at us and just remains like nice and chill. Yeah, good girl, just remain there. Or we can ask her, tell her more. Being able to give and go more with her, it's going to be great down the line. Hey, heel, or hey, let's go. That's going to be way more important as well than not. So they can start being able to bridge into what she really needs is that confidence and satiation of drive. Because right now, without that satiation of a drive, she's really going and looking for that fence fighting, the kennel fighting when she comes out, and those things are quite quick to. If you have a good prospect coming in for adoption, and they take the dog out, and the first thing they see, or the first thing that happens, is they get tugged, pulled to the next kennel, and the dog's trying to fight the litter the dogs in the kennel. That's not really a good first picture situation. If we can help change how she feels or actually listens to someone in those moments, that's going to be very important and huge for her success to get out of there and remain out of there, which is the huge part. We don't just want them getting out of there, being at a terrible home, and then or a situation comes up and then they're getting shipped right back into the shelter life. And most likely coming back, they're going to be on more of a time frame for euthanasia, which really sucks because there's just an amazing amount of great dogs that are just getting unfairly euthanized because of overpopulation and crowdiness of these kennels. And because people don't understand dogs and they're returning them, they think love is just all hugs, kisses, affection, affection, affection. Do whatever I want. That's not love. That's one-sided picture for sure. But love is a two-way street. So we have to give and go, and we have to make sure we actually love our dogs. We're giving them the real fun, satiated play session that we work them mentally and physically, building our communication system or working them through confidence or insecurity. They're sticky points that allows us to progress those elsewhere or in the exact situation we need. That is real love. Being able to really visualize and just observe your dog, and then being able to lifeguard and guide and lead them, of course, when it's needed, is one necessary for their success in this life, and for you to remain having a harmonious, loving dog. You got to be able to advocate for them, and they have to understand that you do want to advocate for them. You are advocating for them. And you create really socialized dogs this way, through play. Play is so important, because it's a primary reinforcer. It doesn't need treats or money to be reinforced. Play by itself is super fun. And I mean, just as a kid or growing up, or I mean, even just last weekend, sometimes you'd be playing, whether that's sports or gaming or instruments. You might be playing something, and like you're gonna rather play and continue playing than eat the food, than to do something else, right? Play has such a high function of reinforcement, for us, and it's much more when all of our basic needs are met as well. We are really born to play. It's an innate system in us that we're just opening up. Um, uh, yeah, and like obviously, um, play versus food. Yeah, they activate different parts of the brains, in all species, not just dogs. And we think and we respond differently when we are presented with them, right? And dogs are programmed, um, because every dog already comes wanting to chase, wanting to catch, and now we can just turn that into chase and catch, which is fetching, right? Play is really everything. It's so critical for even puppies' cognitive development, but really any dogs as well, because without it, you're going to have lower functions, and then you might not even be able to interact socially, properly. Um, because games can actually stimulate social interactions, which are a natural evolution towards a higher level of communication and interaction with our own species, with other species as well. In games, you have to have cooperation, trust, and agreement. So being able to get those into a nice game language, be able to bridge that with another dog who utilizes the same game language respectfully, man, you already bridged trust and agreement and cooperation so much quicker than you could have. It also forces us to play and follow the same rules: compliancy, impulse control, penalties as well. We're not nipping and shredding each other's ears. We're going to get a red card. We're going to get the ref to blow the whistle. There's going to be a penalty or a fine for that, right? Punishment. Games can easily, without serious risk of injury, and just slightly how we play it correctly, it can determine hierarchy orders without any risk. Which is, you do need a level of control. I'm not saying your level of control needs to be here and dogs down there. It's just like you need a level of control just like anything, we want to be able to give and go and communicate easily with them, and that is some level of control. And play can, I mean, play is amazing. I mean, depending on the moment and situation, I mean, play is more greater than conceiving another life. So play is very, very, very huge. And when it is played as a game, where there's an objective, when there's rules, it's and the outcome isn't obvious. It's super fun, super fulfilling, and purposeful as well. Play is huge. What can I say? Play is amazing. I don't think anyone would disagree after hearing this on play. But it's very huge. I would just get back into Roland a little bit with, as well as play. It'll help with the drive theory, which is that basic principle where organisms like dogs have a certain psychological need, um, and that there's a negative state of tension created when those are not satisfied. When satisfied, it's reduced, right? And they return to a nice, relaxed, normal state, which is going to be quickly get into like an expressive dog. It's most likely going to be around like a neutral level. Let's say 5 is neutral, right? Over 5 is super excited. Below 5 is calmer, and then 0 is 0 is sleeping, and 10 is like bouncing off the walls, right? Your dog normally going to be throughout the whole day. They're at like a 5, right? But if they're at like a 7 all day long, that's actually going to be very strenuous on the body as well. So we actually have to, in play, after we finish, we work on a done window, work on coming down to level 0 and really having an off switch. So yeah, we can raise you all the way up to 120%, but we're also working on coming back down to 0%. And it's very huge because most dogs, like, you have that fun, huge drive session, and then the rest of the day, you're just level 5 or fluctuate from 4 to 6 for the rest of the day, and that's like perfect. And you've already created a system to communicate, and everything's going to be super easy to give and go with them, which is what we need. Want everyone to have. There's no reason you shouldn't be in harmony with your dog. So let's get there, and let's get out there and have some fun playing. It can build the perfect lifestyle, the one that you dream of. Just gotta play daily, play weekly, have some fun with your dog, utilize it for the higher evolution of education and socialization as well. So get out there, have fun today, play indoor, outdoors, even if it's freaking raining. We'll still be out there playing. So have a fun day, have fun with your dog. Don't forget to love them with some play. Later.